Start.
And guide to survive in a global pandemic. Step 1, awaken. Check to see if Artemis has returned from war. He has not. Step 2, breakfast. Drink your coffee and read until you are interrupted by the mail. We regret to inform you Artemis has died. We have shipped you his remains in this Fragonard perfume box. Step 3, grieve accordingly. Step 4, get dressed. This should consist of the following: gloves, jacket, study handkerchief, old and mysterious key, bottle of poison, cursed necklace, quick break for lunch, and of course, the pearl earring. Step 5, correspondence. Dear Mother, I am... Love, your daughter.
Is it good? Get any better than that?
Recreation.
No,
You
no,
choose
I
to
think
listen
that's
to
as good
this,
as it gets.
this, or this. Step 7.
All right.
Do not move until nightfall.
Well, I mean, we got two. Okay, that was the end of it.
Yep,
Cool.
there we go.
Do. Button. Hello and welcome. I didn't turn the bot on, so none of this shit works. Don't care. Still rolling with it. How's it going? The fuck did we watch some 1940s or 1840s ghost do a TikTok video? What just happened?
Style over substance. I don't know, man. TikTok is the preferred platform of the pandemic. But welcome to Twitch and welcome to Drunk Kids Gaming. This is your podcast of choice. The boys of summer are here. We're still locked the fuck down. Yeah, it's happening. So I'm going to do an actual intro. Welcome to dkgWELP, the Drunk Kids Gaming podcast. I'm Kaz. That's Curly. Yeah, man.
It's been 300 years. We're still doing this shit. Still doing the shit.
3 weeks since you looked at me.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still the asshole who's going to work and hasn't stopped going to work, so I don't really feel like the rest of you. But y'all starting to get cabin fever and scaring me at this point. All of a sudden, people are making weird ghost videos on TikTok. Everyone's using TikTok all of a sudden.
Everybody's been using TikTok, dog.
People
It ain't
getting
gonna
weird.
stop. It's just gonna start more. This has been the thing, right? So I was talking to the boys on the sports podcast, sportsoddsandends.com, and we were talking about the fact that like all these people are trying to rush to bring sports back, and sports are trying to happen in any way, shape, or form that they can, to the point where things like a darts world tour is happening with people doing it from their homes by setting up cameras and webcams and streaming, which has now brought all these people who have a certain set of skills into a realm where they have another set of skills now, right? So now I'm like, man, I can't wait for the day that I see a man on Twitch just playing darts. Just like, and that's how you hit a zinger right there. Like, I don't. Somebody give me dart terminology real quick, chat. I don't know anything about darts.
You got a 301 over there, baby, on your darts, and
Yeah.
a 60 because you got the triple 20.
Can I talk about another thing? So here, look,
Hold on.
go listen
Sports
to
is a weird fucking thing, right?
It is. No. This is still sports. This is still
Okay.
sports related. This is I need people to learn to level up, right? So wrestling has still been happening. They've just been having wrestling matches with no audience, right? Wrestling is one of those things that is a very performative thing, right? From the wrestling itself to the way that they interact with things, right? Because wrestling has a lot of call and response, right? So if you can't do one of those things, you shouldn't do the other. And you know what they have continued to do in fucking wrestling, even though they are doing it in empty fucking arenas? Call and response.
Yeah. So that was the point I was gonna get at with this stuff. Is that I mean, sports in general are a very speculative thing. Not only are you trying to get through the concept in this pandemic time of what to do with the actual sport participants alone, because I'm already confused at how. I mean, are you only pulling in wrestlers that are supposed to be quarantined together, or are you just saying risk it for a biscuit? And these two
risk
bitches
it for a biscuit.
These two bitches are gonna fight, and then we're just gonna record it, and because right there you're just saying we don't give a shit about you.
Oh yeah, no. There's a referee in the ring. There's still the announcers, but there is no one. There is, I repeat, no one in the audience.
Yeah.
And forget about the wrestling itself, right? Because the wrestling plays to the audience, the wrestling plays to the camera, right? But when you generally have these moments where a person's whole bit is they go, I'm here in Detroit, Michigan, and I fucking hate Detroit. And the audience goes, boo,
Yeah.
boo, right? But when that man still does that and there's no fucking audience, it's like, Detroit
that's
is the worst city I've ever been in.
Because wrestling's very performative, as you said. It's the call and the response. It's the same as, it's like some of these things are like trying to put like Broadway shows on the internet, and you're like, I mean, there's yes, but also you kind of it's supposed to be in front of an audience. It's supposed to be an experience that you sit there with, and wrestling has to be that, because half of the fun of wrestling is getting caught up in the fervor of the crowd and being excited with it and just being lost in it, and then you walk out of there and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? I have no idea what the fuck I just watched.
I feel like there comes a realm where you can then play to the camera. When you literally do a bit, right? They had Stone Cold Steve fucking Austin come out of retirement to do a wrestling match, right? Because they probably paid him a boatload of money, right? And one of his things is a literal call and response where he goes, what? And then the audience goes, what? And then he goes, what? And that man is just standing there in a ring with a mic going, what?
But so this harkens to exactly what I mean, there's gonna be so many studies on this whole time period for years and years to come. But like listening to late night performers do their shows from their home, right? Like your late nights and whatnot. Listening to them, like there's a point where the first thing I question is, and I usually hate canned laughter, but damn, do you need to fucking put it in for some of these guys? Because they don't know how to, like, I'm not going to say I'm any good at it, but I've been doing Twitch live shows, and so I'm used to, like, just talking. Even if we do a YouTube show, we can just keep talking, and we know that dead air is bad air. And watching some of these guys that are professionals at their craft, because they're on the late night shows, they've risen to the top of the cream of the crop, but sitting there listening to them do their same candor of the way they talk, and they pause for laughters and stuff when they're doing a shit, but they're in a dead ass fucking home, like studio, and they're just like, they tell a little fucking joke that's not funny, but if you throw in the audience laughter, then, you know, some people at home chuckle and you get the joke through. But listening to people just go, and then they still pause for it, and it's just dead silent.
Yeah. No, like you have to, and that's what I'm saying, right? You have to learn to level up, right? Like, and I think kind of Leon put it in there, right? It kind of shows who's an actually good performer and who isn't, right? And I just kind of, I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I don't like Jimmy Fallon. Conan's cool. I've liked Conan for a while. I haven't seen any of the Colbert stuff that he's done from home. I've seen some of the stuff Trevor Noah has done from home.
Trevor Noah's been great. He's a great.
Yeah. I think Trevor Noah is awesome. I think the man knows what he's doing to a certain extent. Like,
Colbert's been
really
Colbert's. I think, is it Colbert or Colbert's been interesting because he's just been cracking during his recording sessions, because it's just like watching some of the other YouTubers that have studios behind them and they have a team behind them. Like, he's got his producers and his writers on a fucking Zoom call or a Skype call, down in front of him, and they're like, okay, beat for beat, here's the next thing you're doing, blah blah blah, and he just has to record it. But it seems like he's been cracking, which has been good, because that's just good TV when you're on the internet like that. And watching some of the stuff where he's just like his wife or his daughter or his dog will run in the room in the middle of a bit, and he's like you'll hear his producer or someone just be like, we're gonna, and he's like, no, this is in, this is staying the fuck in, fuck yeah, and he's like, let's get her up here on the table, and he's like, it's like, yeah, you just roll with that shit, because that's what it's like when you work from home, it's great.
And I mean, like, that's the thing of good improv versus bad improv, right? You roll with the punches. You learn how to turn, uh, uh, like you learn
roll with
non
the tangents,
consequences.
you know.
Yeah,
There's been so many times that I've had a road path fucking a whole journey set out for a show for an hour or whatever, and something will happen in the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, we're going with this now. This whole fucking thing is scrapped to get out of here. Like, we'll use that another time. I don't need any of these now. We're going here now.
yeah, but it's good shit, man. But it's been a fucking weird landscape. Like, there's like a thing. Some sports are considering putting in like crowd cheering if they decide to do like empty arena sports or like just weird canned shit. And I think for traditional ball sports you don't need it. Like
Most people do watch those already on television, right?
yeah,
And I know that
yeah.
for the players, like, because you hear this all the time. I'm not a big sports guy, but you hear it all the time where you take either like football or soccer and whatnot. You get a lot of people talking about, I mean, even the statistics prove it. Like when you're in a favorable home game where you've got your audience there cheering those players on, it drastically can affect the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can imagine, the big teams out there just playing to nobody, and there's just a dead ass silent air while they do their craft. And it's like, I feel like that would you could probably statistically look at the changes and the effects that have on the actual players and whatnot. Or maybe it's better for them. Who knows? They don't get all the fucking booze and shit. Some of the stories that I've looked at over the course of the past couple weeks that I haven't actually covered because I didn't know how to really spin it in any way. But you brought it up here, is like some of the soccer clubs and stuff putting out like filling their stands with like cardboard cutouts of fucking fans and shit.
Korean baseball did that.
Yeah.
They filled their stands with like cutouts of like pop stars and shit like that, and like other weird shit but that became a bit, right? Because then people are looking to see like who's that in the cardboard cutout of in the stands and shit like that. Like,
I want to see myself out there. I'd pay to get my butt up on those fucking seats,
Yeah, like that's how you do it, man. Like that's how you fucking you add an element to it, right? You don't take elements away from it.
Yeah.
You don't try to fake something that then makes it more awkward by like having a basketball game with no fucking fans, but you still hear like, yeah, woo, yeah, like just some dude in the corner standing by a mic trying to make crowd noises, like bok bok bok, still having out there with the fucking pots and pans.
It may be a bad idea, but can we get? I mean, just hook a bunch of people up on a rotating, Skype call and just have them attached to the megaphone in the stadiums. And just we'll see what happens. It'll be a chat roulette of sports fans. It'll be a lot of people cheering, then it'll be one person who has to ruin it for everybody, and you got a mod slapping him out and some Baba Booies and whatnot. Yeah, like some of these. I don't remember what the fucking sport was, but there was someone that won something recently, like beat a record or something. But the race, it was like a race or something, but they all did it on their own over video, and it's like that's I don't know.
Well, so
Potential for problems.
NASCAR went back to actual racing, but like F1 and NASCAR were doing like simulated races using video games, but having the actual drivers drive the car. So people were using like racing simulators and driving, like, but the actual drivers who would drive the cars, and then they were doing like a massive multiplayer fucking NASCAR race.
Okay, so they're okay. They're just playing a video game, my man. I mean, I don't care how good the simulator is. I've played those simulators. I've sat in the 6 degrees of
Look,
freedom.
Some of them got it, some of them didn't, because they were just like, what the fuck? It's just like, but like some of these dudes went out and bought like the full racing.
I almost bought one of those chairs that it's suspended in the air and it can fucking rotate all over the fucking place. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to space, baby. But I guarantee I don't know how to go to space in real life. but
you see, that's where it becomes that weirdness, right? Is you have these people who know how to actually drive these cars, and now they're doing it in this, like, I don't know. I found it interesting. I thought it was cool, but like it's always weird.
I just want to go back to the darts thing. I would love just to watch a tournament of darts. Everyone's at home. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you can fuck with the camera angles, I guess, but you gotta have, I don't know. You're supposed to stand a certain distance away from. I don't know anything about darts or how to play it. I know. I think you try to get to 301, so you shoot for 20s, or the triple 20s or something. I played it in Final Fantasy Remake, and I was really good at it, which means I'm really good at darts now.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. I'm a dart boy. I can pivot for here for a bit. I can tell you what I did. I've been horrible. I'm overeating. I posted some of these pictures, Kaz. Mm-hmm. I found a butcher shop / deli / is there another name for when they sell fish? Fishery? It's a meat shop, but they carry, fresh caught.
There is a word for it. I can't think of it, but yeah.
Say fishery.
Fish market.
Fish deli.
Fish market, yeah.
Fishily. Fishmonger. Yeah. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. I don't know. Holy shit, chat.
Anyways, yeah, I posted this in some of the stuff, but I found this the
salmon steaks you were making, right?
Yeah. I don't have any self-control with sushi or sashimi as you do. So I went to this local shop that was selling it. I didn't when I first posted the pictures of it, I was like, holy shit, I just took a picture of the cabinet. I wasn't in the place or the time period where I had the opportunity to pick up some of this stuff and buy it and cook it and everything. So I was like, or not cook it, but prepare it. And so I just posted pictures of this place I found that sells, day caught fucking sushi grade salmon and yellowtail and fucking ahi tuna and whatnot. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna plan this for the weekend. So Friday came along, and I had a couple cocktails early in the day. Okay. And then the place is walkable to my house. And so I got to a point where I had a couple cocktails already. And then I was like, you know what sounds fucking delish right now? A boatload of fucking sashimi. So I went over to this fucking place, and I was like, I will take a pound of the salmon and a pound of the ahi tuna. And, they estimated it, threw it on there. And he's like, do you want this cut into two like portions? I said, no, sir. No, sir. Put that in one thing, because that's going in me today. And it was $20 a pound. I spent $40 on 2 pounds of fish, sushi grade level. And I brought it to my house, and I cut it. And I started off with the greatest of intentions. I cut myself a portion. I cut the other things into portions that would be a decent, like, human being amount of food to eat. And I put them in Ziploc bags, and I put them back into the fridge. And then as I drank more on Friday night, I'm not going to lie, I ate 2 pounds of fucking fish. And I don't feel good still to this day.
So
it's still working its way through me.
As you know, because I've also been posting pictures of it, is I have been smoking more meat than I need.
I was hoping you just took up smoking.
No, God, no, never. That's still never going to be a thing. But like, I bought, I think, every brisket in the tri-state area, and I've just.
You're on that cooking spree, is what you are.
Yeah. Like at this point, I think I've pulled I pulled my grill out every weekend, and I was smoking like 10 pounds of meat, and then it's gone before the next weekend. So
feed everybody. It has been. I think a lot of people are on that same boat. The cooking has been. I don't know if it's just lined up with a certain time in my life or whatever, but I've been really enjoying just taking it kind of slower than I have been before, and buying ingredients and then making food. Cooking's really fucking easy. I used to. I grew up with my mother who baked a lot. She had like I mean, she still has it actually. This like old crusty ass fucking pages are all yellow Betty Crocker cookbook that's got like handwritten recipes in it and shit. And I always envied that. And I was just always figured that, I just bake. And you've seen that when I used to do streams of cooking. But bacon, man, you fuck up really easy when you start fucking around with drinking and not getting portions correct or measurements correct, or you don't remember to double half of the ingredients when you double a fucking recipe, and shit gets real grainy and real weird real quick. But cooking, basically, you're just like, fuck, I don't know. The worst you can do is burn it, but even then, he's still delicious. Like, it's like...
So, like, smoking meat, I have learned, is kind of a science, right? Because it's supposed to be set it and forget it, but nobody ever tells you you then have those moments where you have to fight to keep the fire going. Like, because it's such a long process, and if you're using like something that isn't monitoring itself, you're just out there and you're like, cool, all right, we got to keep it at 220
Yeah.
for the next 9 hours.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Like, fucking coals don't go away. And
You can't just
fucking light
you can't just turn a knob and have it be at a degree. Like you got to shovel fucking coal into that thing like you're running a Titanic.
Yeah. Then you're out there, and then you're like, all right. And then I soak the wood chips for 20 minutes. I had those. Those aren't going to go away anytime soon. I have a time for a game of Valorant, and then that game of Valorant goes on longer than you think you ever wanted it to. Then by the time you go out there, it's only at 100 degrees, and you're like,
how do I
where did all the
adjust?
heat go?
Yeah.
What happened?
My,
and then you're out there for another 45 minutes trying to get it back up to temp. And then, yeah, it's a fucking process.
My baby brain learning to cook is over here just getting used to like I'm putting more and more different ingredients. Like I'm trying to, especially because I've been doing the keto for so long. I was always very worried about doing it right, so I didn't want to overdo the carbs on anything. So I would avoid anything that even had a little bit of carbs in it, even if you technically can. Just you have to deal with that. And so now I'm trying to reincorporate a lot of vegetables and even fruits that I can into, and nuts and everything into my carb allotments and whatnot. So I'm like, adding asparagus and spinach and mushrooms and garlic and stuff to like eggs and things like that. And I'm just learning again, this is just baby cook stuff, but juggling which things cook quicker and which things don't cook quick. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put the spinach in first because it's gonna reduce all down to basically nothing. Because you can put a fucking pound of spinach on a goddamn pan and it becomes fucking this much spinach. But then like I didn't realize garlic cooks up real fucko quick. Like garlic becomes black quicker than fucking anything in the entire world.
Yeah, that's at that moment, right, where you learn that, and I learned this a while ago with kind of straight up cooking. The factor of when you add something to a pot.
Yeah.
Like, because you're just like I think as a guy maybe, or just as a human in certain aspects, you go, I have all my ingredients. Okay. This thing takes 15 minutes to cook. Okay. And then it's done. So you put ingredients in pot, fucking broiler, you turn your fire up to medium, bing, bang, zoom, 15 minutes, I got a meal. And then you're looking at it and you're like, yo, those vegetables are way browner than everything else is, right? Those are sticking to the pan.
My first round of just trying to incorporate things into a good omelet was damn, all of the asparagus is still real hard and all of the mushrooms have become soup. So that's fantastic. let me readjust this.
Yeah. You gotta learn to cook times, when to add shit, when not to add shit. It's fucking crazy, man.
It's a blast though. Because again, I mean, especially with someone with a palate like mine, I don't taste shit. It doesn't matter to me. It's food. You fuck it up, and I'm like, I'm gonna eat those crusty bits. It's still good. It's still good to me.
Oh yeah, no, I think that is also an acquired taste, right? You learn, especially if you're poor enough, and I've said this a numerous amount of times, right? You don't waste food. You're like, you know what? That's what I'm eating.
Fuck, man. I had some.
That's what I'm eating.
I had bought it because I was making some homemade pizza stuff, the fat dough, head dough, or whatever for the keto stuff. But I was making this homemade pizza, and I had bought a 3-cheese blend of this Parmesan cheese that I had always been eyeballing. It looked really fancy and it was a little bit more expensive, and I bought it. And I used it a couple times, but then I want to say like I don't know, like a tenth of the container left, and it sat in the back of my fridge, and I forgot about it because I ran out of all the other ingredients for pizza shit, and it was just kind of sitting back there, and I forgot about it. And there was this day I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, oh, that's old as fuck. And I went and I grabbed it, and I was like, hold on, let me check. And I looked at the date on it, and it was like, it's only like 10 days past its date. That's still fucking good. This is just fine. I ain't wasting this shit. And I was like, I'm gonna use this today. But yeah, you don't waste fucking food. I'll questionable eat almost anything. It's been great. Though I did. I mean, what's the? I mean, just to correct me on this, what's the acceptable amount of time chicken can be out of the fridge? I feel like it's got a low amount of time. I feel like that's a tricky baby. That one you don't want to fucking error on the side. You don't want to dance with the devil on that.
I'm gonna let Chad answer that one because I don't know.
Raw, not long. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I had once again been drinking, and I was like, I had portioned off a whole sleeve of frozen boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I put them in little Ziploc bags, put them in the freezer and everything, and so I pulled one out. I was drinking probably noon. I pulled it out probably around 3, maybe 4, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a chicken snack in the evening. And I just kept drinking, playing video games until I went to bed. And I woke up in the next morning and I had that. It was in the Ziploc bag, but it was sitting in the sink. And I questioned it for a moment. And I was like, should I have chicken in the morning?
Well, it just so happens you're listening to Drunk Kids Gaming.
Thank you, Beer Me TV. Welcome, friend. Yeah, and I was like, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't feel like I need to fuck with this. And I just threw it away. I did the right call here, chat. Don't get me wrong. Don't come at me sideways. I know I've made bad decisions in the past, but this time I looked at it. I turned the stove on just for a moment, and then I turned the stove off, and I said, "No."
You got that far.
I pulled out the cutting board. I was getting ready to fucking, but I was like, ugh. I mean, I'll fuck around with some older ground beef outside, but I don't know about chicken. Chicken kind of scares me. Chicken feels like the one that you shouldn't fuck with. Like,
yeah, so like beef, I get a little wild with, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let that sit on the counter all day. It'll taste better. But like pork, I kind of get a little bit fucking sketch with, but like chicken and fish scare the fuck out of me. Like chicken and fish, I feel like any moment now is just gonna be fucking. I'm gonna die.
I feel going back to my sushi experience. I feel like there is a legal amount that you're allowed to ingest of raw fish. Like there's a problem, right? You're not supposed to eat so much of it.
See, I don't know because I have the same problem you do. If you offer me sushi,
yeah,
right, I will just eat it until you tell me that I shouldn't anymore, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna eat more after that.
Because I mean, I really didn't do dick to it. It was said it was sushi grade, which means I think it means it was frozen to kill any bacteria, and then it was put in the fucking display case, and then given to me. I put it in the fridge, and then I ate it all, and I cut it into slices. I dipped it in wasabi and soy sauce, and I ate more than 2 pounds of fish into my face hole in the course of about maybe 2 hours. So
yeah.
I might have whatever you can get from that.
See, kind of chat's taking it the same way. Like, yeah, okay. Hold on, Curtis. You said that, right? I like fucking like a slab of meat. I get like I'm down with ground beef. I feel like is the sketchiest thing that has ever existed in life, and I am never sure but when I am eating it, if it was bad before I even bought it. Like,
what are you going to grind your own beef? What are you fucking?
I might.
You got that? I almost bought a stand mixer.
You know, I bet you I could go to Amazon right now. How much is a meat grinder?
You need to just get one of the like Hamilton Beach fucking stand mixers with the little attachment for fucking meat grinding. It comes out the top of it, scoots it right out, and then you can just buy chunkies. Yeah, I almost did that. I feel like I'm gonna replace the trouble is I have very limited space, and I don't know, and this actually probably just isn't funny. This is just me being what is currently on my mind, but I was contemplating getting rid of the microwave, and then I'd have a lot more space, and I could put
eating up your food.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a level up, right? Like you get to a point where you don't rely on the fucking microwave anymore, and you just fucking heat up your food like an adult on the goddamn stove.
Hold on. So we can go anywhere in the range of $20
no
to $400.
The $20 one, you're probably going to be hand cranking that shit. Okay. You're gonna have to get on a. You're gonna get on a fucking recumbent bike and fucking grind your meat out with your feet.
Chat, look at this thing, right? Yo, that's gonna fall apart on one good chunk of meat, man. Like
No, that's not
that
okay.
that handle is coming out. Like ain't nothing about that thing staying together. There's no way.
My zucchini noodler, my zoodler, fucking is a hand crank thing. That thing got plugged and then destroyed immediately.
Brother, you could put. Yeah, there is no way that thing can actually grind meat. No way. Look at this thing. There's okay. Hold on for the audio listeners. We're looking at an Amazon page. You go on Amazon. You type meat grind.
Hold on. For those that are watching the video, it looks. Are they grinding already ground meat? Is that? You take ground beef and you put it into a grinder and you get ground beef back out. That's the plan. I think that's the only thing it's used for.
Instructions: get a meat mallet and a knife.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Pound the fuck out of meat, then put it in here.
I can tell you within 3 or 4 pulls that arm is coming right out that plastic right there, that metal arm, and you're gonna be fucked.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Top quality and performance.
What are the reviews like? Where are the reviews?
Hamilton Beach motherfucking goddamn grinder. We're gonna do it. Oh my god, these are nasty. I don't need a dedicated meat grinder. I'm not grinding that much fucking meat. But then again, you can make like a fucking like the different types of like pork when you mix it all together, like ground chuck or whatever and shit. Like you make like a burger of like different types of meat and stuff. Oh, that'd be good. I don't know. We got to do a cooking show at this point. I got the camera support.
Here's a review, right? I love this grinder until my dog stopped eating, so I had to make my dog food for her illness.
No!
I had to throw out my processor because it was too much trouble to clean. So I bought this grinder, and it was perfect. It grinds raw meat, cooked veggies, and it was so easy to take apart, to clean, and it is easy to store. The little grinder has made a big difference in our lives. My dog is now eating and getting healthy, and I have a product I really enjoy using because it works. Oops, I spoke too soon.
I was gonna say this sounds like a good review so far.
Okay, hold on.
So did it break while the person was typing the review?
The third time I used the grinder, the lever to hold the grinder with suction fell off.
Yeah, I told you that was gonna happen.
2 of us tried to put it back on, and we're what off, and it couldn't do it. Although the grinder still works, it's very difficult to use when it slips all over the counter. What a shame! Oops, again. I called Simple Being, and they were wonderful. And they replaced the grinder with a new one. Terrific. Terrific seller who backs their product.
And then fast forward, oops again, the third time using the new one has deteriorated into shards of plastic.
That is a bot review right there. That's all I'm going to say. Also, who says oops? Fucking in the God, fucking stop, humans.
Steam reviews. This is what I write when I play a video game. I write your review after 1 hour of playing, and then you go, "Oops, this game is actually shit."
This game is great. I've had so much fun with all of my friends. Oops, 2 hours in, the game doesn't work and the servers are dead. Oops, I asked the fucking people to put the servers back online, and they did. What a wonderful time.
Kaz, can we do a whole show about making fucking homemade sausages?
Hell yeah, bro.
Get one of those fucking sausage makers, get a grinder, fucking get some casings.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
I wish I had more time. I wish I wasn't essential. I wish it would be.
That's what I'm saying. This is the shit we gotta make time for. If we do that kind of shit, it would be fucking great. We'll make millions of dollars on the internet.
I have less time than I've ever had in my entire life.
Either you, Brad. That's one of those people, right?
It's alive.
Isn't that what his name is?
That's
I don't know.
That's his show. Yeah, no, they make some garlic all the time. I've been putting garlic in everything. I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but it's going in everything.
No, garlic is fucking great, man.
I bought I don't know what the term for it is, a sock garlic. I don't know. There was 5 fucking full heads of garlic or whatever, and they have little cloves in them, and it came in like a weird spongy fucking net. And I've been just smashing that shit into every fucking piece of food in my entire life, and I love it. Go ahead and tell her. I would love to hit up Ashley at some point. Ashley Paramore does a show on Twitch here with cooking all types of meals from around the world that are all vegan based. And I would love to get some opinions on some stuff that I could try that is interesting, because I don't know. I mean, I got your basics over here. I know what cheese, meat, spinach, like I know your basic food stuff. So I want to get weird with it. I want to go down that aisle in the fucking supermarket that's got fucking weird spiny shit and see if I can cook those into something.
Yeah, I don't want to put people on blast, right? But I'm gonna put people on blast because that's what I do.
Please.
But like one of the other days when I made brisket or whatever, right? You season you season the fuck out of the meat to make a bark, right? You get that nice bark on it or whatever. So I'm like putting all this shit into a bowl, like all these different seasonings, like fucking salt, pepper, all this shit or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like kind of looking at our cabinet of spices, putting more shit, and then Emily's just like, "Are you just gonna keep adding shit to this?" And I'm like, I gotta create a flavor palette here, dog.
That was me. That was how I fucked with ramen back in the day, dude. I was like, what is in this cabinet? A fucking celery salt? Okay. Fucking flakes? Everything. Everything's going in this bitch. I don't give a damn. I don't know whose house I'm at, but whatever they've got in this cabinet is gonna go in this fucking plate. It's gonna be delicious.
Yeah. There's just like maybe I don't know, maybe I'm too white for this, and I'm like, no, white people fucking know how to barbecue at least. Like, they don't season anything else any other time.
All we have is salt and pepper, and I don't know. A lot of people got ketchup and mustard. That's about it. That's about all you know.
The level in which you want to confuse somebody is you ask them if they have Chinese 5 spice or if they can make Chinese 5 spice.
I don't know what that is.
It's cinnamon, anise, cloves, and something else.
I got Grill Mates chicken rub, and I got the pre-made ones from McCormick.
Okay. McCormick's not bad.
Yeah, whatever they got that says put this on beef, put this on chicken, and I'm like, all right, thank you for the instructions.
How many types of salt do you have?
I have a celery salt. I have pink Himalayan sea salt, coarse, and then I have a fine one, and then I've got I got it right here in front of me. Your table salt, your basic iodized fucking table salt, because this is also where I eat food.
I did not expect that answer. I did not expect Curly to name more than 2. Like,
I'm a salt guy. Okay, I don't taste things very well, and salt is something I can taste, so I put salt into everything. If it flips Erica out, because I've been watching a lot of these chefs that do stuff, like a lot of these YouTube shows. They do 10, 15, 20, 30 ways to cook a thing, and they're like burgers, just a basic burger, how to cook it, different ways, why it's better, why it's not. And they just try all these different things. And every single chef I know or I've ever watched that's a real chef is like, you salt the shit out of it and you pepper the shit out of it. That's just basic fucking bitch shit before it goes on the damn high heat, fucking hit it. And I was like, she's like, you're putting too much salt on it. And I was like, bitch, I'm going with the experts here at this point. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's called, you season at every step, right? You have your seasonings that you put on it when you mix it, but you also have to realize you're going to lose a portion of that, right? So if you kind of portion out your seasoning, you lose some of that to the bowl itself. You lose some of it in cooking, which is why you season while a thing is cooking, and then you have season to taste, which is once it's at the table, you add seasonings after you taste it because it might need more salt, more pepper, or whatever.
Well, yeah, and I've been listening to not listening, but watching some of the Epicurious stuff where they bring on the an actual food grade, not food grade, but a food expert that's not just not a chef, but a person who studies food and shit. And they're like, okay, this is why the chefs did this. And it's like the salt breaks up the fucking protein chains and does this to the food so it can cook better. And Miller's saying high heat and low and slow a day. Most things, yes, low and slow for sure. But when you're making a burger, you want to sear on both sides, and then you want to just that's it. You want high heat for those burgers. At least for what I'm trying to cook. Everything else, you do like a chicken thing. I'm doing fucking low and slow, make that shit tender and delicious. Granulated garlic. Holy shit! I heard a thing from. I know this is becoming all a complete cooking show, but a friend of mine was talking about taking an entire head of garlic and like doing. He said wrap it. I'm paraphrasing here. So if you've heard of this, sorry, but he said something about like taking a head of the garlic, a whole thing with all the cloves in it and everything. You strip some of the outside of it off. You wrap it in aluminum foil. Leave the top open a bit, like a vent, and then pour like olive oil or oil in there or whatever, and then put it in the oven and cook it for like hours. And basically all of the garlic inside turns into this like paste and shit. Yeah, black garlic paste. And then like you can use that on fucking anything, and it's just delicious, he was saying. And I was like, yo, I didn't want to fucking do that shit. Like that sounds good, so good.
Yeah.
It makes
shit like that is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the flavor profiles of the stuff that I can taste are those kind of extreme things like that. And I just love it.
Like I love things to an extreme, which is like I kind of hold myself back when I cook, because for myself I'll season the fuck out of something, right? Because I almost love it where it's just a little bit too much, and I'm just like, ooh yeah, fucking I can taste every bit of seasoning I put in this or whatever. Like,
I gotta address this. Miller is the most Texas thing he's ever fucking said is about tossing OJ on some red meat to break it down and make it tender. Some fucking Texas shit right there, my man.
That is a thing, though. That is a thing. I've seen it, and I will back it. It is definitely a fucking thing.
All right, let's transition into news stories, my man. We're doing too much garlic.
News? Fuck yeah.
Too much garlic talk over here on the Garlic Podcast.
We can make this fucking dkgWELP fucking food talk all day. I'm here for it, man.
We have so many different. This is the point of the show, though, is it's tangents. We get on tangents all the time and we roll with it, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. We're gonna do more cooking. I swear to God, I wish. Once I get more time, I have all of the. You can see the box of them back there behind that chair. There's fucking 4 more of these fucking cameras over there. I'm gonna put them in my kitchen at some point, and I'm gonna figure out a way to wire it all up, and it's gonna be great. And I'm just gonna go live randomly, or I'm gonna record it on YouTube and be like, hey, I made some fucking shit. It's great.
Oh yeah, man.
But yeah, let me transition over to the news time where we cover the news that's fun on the internet. I'm gonna start with the first one, Cass, because I have more news than you.
Okay.
dkgWELP. Let's fill that knowledge hole. With Cass and Carly's news time.
What the fuck is happening in North Carolina? Okay. I know we don't usually cover North Carolina because I don't know where it is, but most of the stories are coming from Florida. I'm just gonna read this this headline to you. You guys remember Highlights, the magazine? That's great. It's a great time.
There you go. Stick to the story. Jesus Christ.
March 17th from the police. This is just the headline from North Carolina. 19 minors. I've never seen that many minors in my entire life. Aged from 9.
Okay, all right.
19 kids.
I was gonna ask you
chitlins. Yeah. No. Not minors. Youngins. Goofus and Gallant, baby. Chimera's on the same page as me. Aged between 9 and 16. Suspected of stealing over $1 million in cars in North Carolina dealerships during this pandemic.
All right. What are they? Are they
40?
shipping up?
40?
What are they doing
because
with?
everything's fucking closed.
Yeah.
And so this group of fucking delinquents has been running a train on these dealerships out here in North Carolina. Like this is a goddamn Nickelodeon cartoon right here. Like this is what this shit is. 46 vehicles have been stolen from 12 different dealerships beginning in March 17th to apparently whenever this fucking story came out. Oh, May 1st. So over the course of what, a month and a half, 46 vehicles have been stolen by a 9-year-old to a 16-year-old. 19 kids have been identified so far as part of this fucking gang. This gang of kids that I don't know. I didn't know how to drive a car until I was fucking 16 in the first place. Who's training the 9-year-olds? Who's working the pedals? Like
that's that thing. That is that thing where depending on where you live, and especially in rural areas, people start teaching their kids to drive a lot earlier because of the fact that like there are no mass transit systems in a lot of these areas. So they just start teaching their kids to drive because there's no other way to do that. Like there's no other way to teach them how to get around or fend for themselves unless you start teaching them how to drive at a very young age.
I thought it was because of farm equipment. Like, can't you legally like have your kid drive your farm equipment on your own property?
Probably.
Because they have to work at like from age 2 to 20 on your farm. One of the suspects was arrested because they could, and he's considered possibly the ringleader. He's 19 years old, and I just love this. I want this as a book. This needs to be a fucking book or a movie where this 19-year-old finds 19 9 to 16-year-olds and has them all steal 46 cars from local dealerships.
Gone in 60 Seconds 2, starring fucking Timothy Oliphant. Is that gets? I don't know.
How do you even pull? What if you pulled up and there was a 9-year-old behind the wheel of a fucking car, a brand new fucking car?
None of my fucking business, dog. That's how I live my fucking life, man.
The thing is, the police have pulled all this information together as of May 1st to talk about the one. They know there's this many kids. They know the shit. There's a line here, fourth line into this fucking article. Police have said they have not been able to arrest any of the minors. They're just out there. They're just out there wreaking havoc. $1.1 million worth of fucking stolen vehicles from 12 different fucking dealerships.
Fucking, I heard he's the best driver on the playground.
Baby Driver, baby. Is that what that movie's about? Is that about a baby driver?
That's exactly what Baby Driver is about. It's about
a 9-year-old fucking driving cars for a fucking ringleader.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story. Holy shit. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. That's. I mean, like I said, that's rural areas for you. Like chat's all saying, like, in certain areas, people can get a farmer's driver's license between like 12 and 15. They're talking about, and like Puck said, there was some kid, a 5-year-old, who stole a car and drove to California. So like,
I covered a story where there was a fucking 5-year-old, maybe a 5-year-old or something, that got into the seat somehow of a car and drove down the street, tried to get in a candy bar from a fucking liquor store or some shit, and he's like, I was hungry. It's like, how'd you work the pedals? I don't understand.
Man, that's why you don't teach your kids shit, man. You let them fend for their fucking selves.
My ex was my age and she couldn't drive a car, and these 3-year-olds are out there fucking going to the Quickie Mart or the fucking grab and go.
I have driven a car for less than a mile 3 times. That's total. That's total. 3 times less than a mile. Like,
is Baltimore not rural? Is it?
No, I grew up in fucking New York, dog.
Oh, okay,
like,
fair enough. Yeah.
They hate cars in that city.
I figured, a lot of people don't drive out in places with transit and shit. Or I mean, what's weird is that people do drive, but it's still congested, I guess, right? Like,
yeah. But yeah, all right. So I got a story. So a lot of people have still been trying to go on dates and do those kind of things. So they've been using things like Skype and Zoom and all kind of shit. And it's brought up new types of product sales that have started to exist, where companies are now selling fake boobs and muscle suits so that you can look, more presentable on your Zoom and Skype dates.
I mean, you can control the angles at this point, right? So why not? Are people actually like first dating over the internet right now?
Oh yeah, but there's so many apps that are like presenting themselves as like there was a whole commercial for Zoom or some shit like, it's not, some, or I don't know what the fuck the tagline was. And maybe somebody can in chat can go and find like the YouTube fucking version of the ad, but it was just like all these people having dates in like a fucking Zoom call and just like, oh yeah, here's my dog, and like, oh man, oh, here's my like just chick holding her laptop and like, yeah, I love all of these books, I've read all of them, and it's just like, just it's just a thing, man.
But here's the problem though. I've carefully constructed my angles for this streaming situation here. You don't get to know that I have a troll for a body down in the below areas. Okay, I'm a walking fucking monster, and no one's gonna know that. I can sit here all day long and be like, yes, my ring light and my face is fine on this angle. But if you look at me from the side, you're gonna realize that I'm Samwise Gamgee. I don't understand. I couldn't do that. Dating on the, I guess, I don't know. That's weird. I guess I'm back and forth now. I've now convinced myself, I've talked to myself in and out of this conversation.
I have met people in online communities and then dated them. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I guess I have been down that route. But
I don't know.
It's usually happened where you get to a convention component where you're hanging out and then you click there. But you would click there anyways, even if you hadn't had the previous like online experience. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you click with people you click with.
Yeah. But see, I don't know if like I've been in group situations and like in group online, like we used to have giant Skype calls and hangouts and like all these kind of things, and like you kind of click with somebody and you and that person start to talk a lot more, like kind of things. But like I don't know if I could be on a dating app and then be like, all right, here's my Skype, call me on Skype, and like, hey. So yeah. Oh wow. And like I'm a fucking weirdo, right? So if you call me on Skype, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is that in your background? like I don't know how to have a small talk, man. I'm gonna end up playing a game of League while we're supposed to be having a fucking date because I fucking end up bored when I'm trying to
you're
talk
like, oh
to
shit, I'm bored. Are you fucking playing League right now? No, shush, no. I'm here. We're still watching. What are we watching? Whatever movie is fucking these kids watch these days.
Yeah.
People watching Wicker Man. I don't. Everyone here knows I don't typically use dating apps, but I have popped into them a couple times for the.
I have all kind of dating apps on my phone.
Well, for the lulz, for me, I've got the. I did a bunch of the OkCupid.
Yeah.
Because OkCupid has like a bunch of the actual like personality quizzes or whatever, and like they match you up based on questions and stuff. And so a lot of people were like, "Whoa, where'd you fall if you did the 100 question?" And I was like, "All right, let's do it." I've done those things. And since I'm doing it sort of as a joke, but also at the same time, I'm like, I'm just going to cut to the chase. If I'm a person, and this is just my unique experience, I'm online for at least or 5 days, or if not more, a week for many, many hours every week. If you wanted to know my personality, you can just watch my stupid stream. You're going to find out anyways. There's no needing to hide it. There's no anything. This is me. And if you're picking up what I'm putting down, then, go for it. But yeah, I'm probably going to have a second screen going when we're on a Skype call because I'm going to watch a movie or a TV show while we're doing stuff. Like, that's just the way it goes. And you can watch it with me. And hey, I can facilitate a whole bunch of extra fun times on the internet for you. We can run games. We can do some Jackbox. Is that up your alley? Sure.
Would it be against TOS to stream your first date?
You would have to have consent. I feel like Kaz knows me very quickly, where the first thing I thought was how to monetize this entire concept he just came up with. I can do speed dating online, Twitch styled.
Yo, oh my god, fuck! We don't have the infrastructure to set up this idea, and it's making me mad already. Like this This would be such a fucking amazing thing.
If you respond to my Tinder in regards to all the stuff that we just talked about, in regards to like we'll do an online live date. We hit it off. We do a little couple text conversations. I mail you a 920, and then I maybe pay for 1 month of your internet to not be shitty, and then we go from there. And
yeah. Oh my god, that'd be the other thing, right? So we've talked about this, right? That would be the insta probably out, right? Is like you hit somebody up on Tinder or Grindr or fucking Bumble or Humble or whatever the fucking app you're fucking using is, and you're like, yeah, you know what? Hey, fuck it, let's hang out over the internet. You know what I mean? It's social distancing is happening, so you know, let's do a thing. And you get into that call and they're just like on their iPhone, no fucking headphones or fucking some shit, and you got this set up, fucking soft boxes, fucking C920. You're fucking lucky I haven't set one of my fucking DSLRs up as a fucking webcam. Like, I'd fucking, oh my god, and I gotta hear your fucking neighbors fucking beating each other. Like, bruh.
I'm weirdly different, dude. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for one round. And I will send them, I will send you a fucking cheapo headset from Amazon, you know, like here, at least this. Or I mean, I don't know. I know your fucking phone came with headphones. Okay? I know it came with a microphone.
Yo, mine didn't.
I mean, how many of these pairs of these fucking USB-C Pixel Buds I got? They came with something. I mean, hopefully. Stealing from everything. There's probably something in there. But yeah, I mean, I'll mail you a C920 if you decide to not use it, or if at some point you're like, nah, it's easier just for me to do this, and I'm like, cool, you hate everyone and you're selfish and shitty, and I hate everything about you. Kev's going through his box. You don't got it? You don't even have a wall wart or anything?
No, they gave me a wall port, like no headphones.
I'm going to transition over to this is on the same kind of line of thought here. It's very short, but University of Miami, Florida man, has to resign from the university because listen, guys, this can happen to anyone, and it has happened to people, and it has happened to people that have been on this show. But good thing you weren't working for a university as a teacher, as a professor or lecturer or whatever. But this man was running a business analytics class over Zoom, and this is your go-to. This is probably about as low-hanging fruit as the news stories that keep covering people standing up with no pants on in their Zoom calls, because that's just the lowest hanging fucking fruit of a joke in the entire fucking universe. But yeah, this gentleman was in the middle of his lecture, and he was screen sharing, and one of his students decided to TikTok up with his cell phone this man's browser, which had busty college girl foo ... right there up on the browser.
Oh no, honey.
And I mean, listen, there's a reason that the top of my browser isn't being shown on my browser screen right now. That shit is filtered the fuck out. I couldn't if I wanted to, no matter where I move this window. Okay, like it's up top. It's bookmarked right there. And not only that, but you look where this URL bar is. That's one of the first bookmarks on his Chrome browser. Like that is right there on the far left. And that's there's so much to unpack there, because listen, like, who bookmarks porn? I mean, yeah, you're saving it for later. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fan favorite. And also, it's so generic. It's not like Mary's fucking dungeon. It's just a generic search. No, that's he definitely lost his job. That's the way it goes, unfortunately. Sorry, boys.
Yeah. That's why you have to have now the two computer setup, right? You have the computer you stream from, then that way you know it's always clean.
Incognito window. Come on, people.
Or fucking before you do anything professional, close everything and just open it back up. Start anew, baby.
Use one. You have to have your browser for school shit and your browser for fucking your dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Like, fucking when I stream, if fire like I'm gonna tell you guys this right now, chat. When I stream, and if you're in my stream and I'm sharing my screen, and you see Firefox open, let me know. Because that's where I do my dirties, all right? Firefox is where I do my dirties. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. We're gonna air it out. Like if Chrome is open, everything is good. But if for some reason you come to a stream and I got Firefox open, give a boy a warning. Let me know, because that shit is
That's kind
I'm
of
gonna have to. I gotta burn that shit.
this kind of runs into the same shit right there, because this kid that I originally posted that ended up with over 1 million views on TikTok. He was like, yo, my first thought was this was super fucking funny. And then he realized that, oh shit, I feel a little guilty. This guy might lose his job. And I really liked him as a teacher. And he tried to delete the video, but he's like, oh, I already shared it with all my friends. And that shit went out. That shit went out.
Oh yeah. Like it's that's a rough one, man. Like that's a fucking rough one. Oh, see, Leon says he does it the other way around. Nah, man. I don't know why, but I gravitated to Firefox for my weird shit.
I love Android phones. Close all incognito windows as the reminder that pops up on your fucking notification window. Have, if you have any incognito windows open, it's just like, yo, bro, your incognito windows are still open, like right here in the fucking where you get text messages, and that shit is like, you need to close those. You need to close those, because what would happen in the olden days is I'd be out there, I maybe watch something on my phone the night before, the day before, on the last browser page, even though it was an incognito window. I just kind of closed it out, did my own, life at that point. And then I'd be like, oh shit, you know what? Yeah, let me look up GTA 5 for you. Open up browser. Oh shit, it's screaming porn right now. And I'm like, that shit was just in the memory, just waiting to play. And I'm like, every now and then I'm going to work and I'm like, oh, incognito windows are still open. Oh, yeah, close please. And just closed everything.
Nah. Charlie doesn't have a hentai back. I'd be
no.
More
This is Jesse. This is from Reddit. Yeah. This is Jesse from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. I still have my pet vet.
Yeah, brother.
On a new phone, no bezel. Look at that.
I don't care. So, Google can track all my stuff. It helps me look at porn better. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. All right. Last story from me before we get into fucking tech talk again. So down in the old Upper Boston, police had to try to catch an escaped peacock that had gotten out and was causing all kind of mischief and hassle. And the way they ended up being able to catch this peacock was by looking up peacock mating sounds on YouTube.
I mean, that's how I'd solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And did they recreate them, or did they just blast it from the phones?
Probably from the phones.
Yeah. I mean, birds are weird, dude. That shit works. I don't know. Animals are weird. You ever fucking just like have a cat make a noise out of your speakers, like on a video or something, and like your fucking animals lose their shit? Like Luna will lose her goddamn mind if there's a meow happening on any video whatsoever. Like.
Yeah.
She'll come out of the woodwork and be like, "What? Huh? Another cat? What's going on?" And I'm like, "No, bitch. It's. Can't you smell if there's a cat here or not?" Like, they honey potted a peacock. I like that, Loki. Peacocks are scary, dude. They sound like fucking children, like screaming. Like they sound like a bunch of high school kids making laughy noises. I know this for reasons.
No, peacocks are fucking weird, bro. Like it's a fucking weird creature that like I don't understand a peacock's existence. Like I mean, I don't understand.
They're about my height. They're freaky.
They're not that tall. They maybe come up to like your waist.
So in my 20s when I used to drink a lot more, a lot more. And I used to hang out at my one friend that had a home that their parents gave them. They had this home with a pool, multiple rooms, and it was just like it was the party pad. And I've talked about it many times in regards to the stream, but I don't think I've ever told the peacock story. It happened to be in a portion of San Diego County called Lakeside, and it was one of those things where it was just kind of, it was talked about, but you very rarely saw it. But one of the neighbors at one point, the lore was they got peacocks in their backyard, and then they got out, and then it was wild mating out in this residential area. And for the most part, the peacocks would stay in the home, but they would just jump the fence all the time and be out on the streets. And I from my friend's party house, if you stood up on top of the wall, you could see over the fence and down into like a couple neighbors down the street's house into their backyard, and you could see the peacocks down there. And usually we're over there doing their damn deeds. But they're pretty much wild at that point. And I do remember, and this is in the age of like there was no smartphones. This was just, I had a flip phone. I had an LG fucking N900 or something. It was like a candy bar, and it flipped open. You could have a little texty fucking keypad. And I had this phone, and it was up to my ear, and I was talking to someone, probably some girl, at like 2 a.m, drunk, and I was outside on the street, and I was walking around in that thick ass morning fog, just where you can't see shit. It looks like Silent Hill. Like, and I was walking around, and you ever just like, you're on the phone, you're drunk, and you're just pacing around, like just talking. I'm on the street
for that. That's how I talk on the phone in general.
And yeah, basically, right. And so I'm just wandering. I'm like, my legs ain't. There's no decision. I'm just wandering the streets up and down, and I'm on the phone with this girl, and I'm laughing and talking, and I see in the fog this motherfucking just coming out, the fucking feathers up and shit. It's fucking peacock, and it's just woo, woo. And I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit, this fucking peacock. And she's like, what? It's a fucking peacock. I don't know what to do. Do I run? Do I stare at it? Like, what do I fucking do? I didn't know what to do. And I just remember just panicking and just being like, I'm gonna do like, I went into Jurassic Park mode where I'm just like, maybe it can't see you if you don't move. Like, maybe if you just stand still. And I just treat every bird like it's a fucking dinosaur is all I know. That's all I know from TV. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna sit still. And then the thing just kind of circled me for a while, and I was just like, I think it's gonna go. And then it left. And I was just like, no one's gonna believe this. No one's gonna believe this fucking peacock story. Like, but I could have fought it, I guess. It's a lot of feathers.
Yeah, probably. Like, that's the same thing I said. Like, with that fucking one time I said I could fucking take a turkey. Like, it's small enough, it's dumb enough. You can
I don't know, man. Turkeys are crazy.
Like, a goose is like probably the smallest bird that I don't think I could fucking fight.
Because I've seen geese get nuts when you start throwing bread and shit, and they start swarming, and they start pecking on your car windows, and you got to roll them up, and you got to drive off. Yeah, I've seen that, and they're fucking terrifying. They got big old weird teeth up in that fucking gullet of theirs. And I feel like they could get out. They could take your arm off with those saw blades.
They know what they're doing, man. They're out here for blood.
A turkey, though, I've seen the only time I've ever actually encountered a turkey was in Georgia, and we were driving home from the Callaway State Park, Callaway Fields, Callaway something, and it's just all woods everywhere, and there was just a fucking turkey on the road, just destroying some shit. And we were like, the people were weird. They were like, "Oh, slow down, it's a cool turkey." And then the thing was just like, "I'm gonna come at you." And they were like, "Go, go, 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 turkey on the loose." It was a wild turkey, and we were like, "Nope, nah, fuck that shit." I don't know, maybe a domesticated turkey, maybe a housebroken turkey, but not a fucking wild turkey. Wild turkey would probably fuck you up and come at you. All birds are basically just fucking flying raptors, man. They're gonna come kill you. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my final story here. Then this is I don't know why I didn't think of this, and Kaz, I feel like you're gonna be a little remiss as well. Why didn't you think of this? This is my man who's winning the pandemic right now. This is a May 4th story, published in Orlando, on the old clickorlando.com apparently. Anyways, Richard McGuire, he's been banned now at this point because of this situation from the Walt Disney World property, because report from local police, man caught camping in Disney Discovery Island. Since the parks are all closed, This man's been living the Tom Sawyer life out on Paradise Island at the Disney World fucking resort. He refers to it as a tropical paradise.
Oh no.
I think it's genius, man. It's at some point someone in a helicopter spotted a man down in the Disney property, since there were no guards or anyone patrolling, since the place is fucking closed, and he's just been living that fucking that island life out there in the fucking park. He said it's been a blast. Charged with trespassing and ordered not to return to any Walt Disney property for life. But yeah, man, living the dream. You want a mugshot? Because every Florida man's got a mugshot.
Oh yeah.
Of course, this is your boy here. the real Tom Sawyer.
No. Oh, he's jerked off in something in that park, and you don't know what it is. You're gonna have to throw out everything. You're gonna have to throw.
You're gonna have to hose down the entire event.
Oh shit, brother! Like fucking every fucking thing that you can think of, just fucking done it. Not even a wet wipe, just fucking nuke it from orbit, rebuild.
I mean, really though. I mean, the man
reclaimed Earth.
This man's treating it like it's a real apocalypse, though, right? Like if you could get that, you could secure in the early days of the apocalypse the Disneyland compound. Man, you got fucking popcorn and shit for days. You got whatever you could find, and you got housing, pre-built housing. I'm sure it's fucking a blast out there. It's genius. I think it's genius. Until you get caught, because at some point someone's gonna see you. They did say that they saw him on by helicopter, and then they went out there by boat with the Orange County deputies to try to arrest him. They couldn't find him for a while, and they kept screaming his name on a loudspeaker. Not his name, but they kept screaming for him on it. And then they eventually found him. He said he didn't hear them because he was sleeping. It's fantastic. I love it.
That's just, yeah, man. I like, that's fucking wild, right? Like, that's probably not going to be the only story of something like that. Like
with closed places. I mean, one, you got fucking 9-year-olds stealing cars, and then you got people living inside of Disneyland. Why not? Right? It's apocalypse time. Yeah. I wish I just thought of it quicker. I was. This is kind of a related subject, but I was wondering, like, because we're a little about on the ass into this. I think most states at this point are freaking out to the point where they're not adhering to any of these social distancing laws and whatnot. Because out here in San Diego, it's become bedlam. But in the early days, where everyone was kind of accepting and kind of on board with the concept, I was thinking about, like, there's gonna be. I mean, one, we're getting all this media that's being made, right? Like television shows, entertainment and stuff that's going to be based on this time period, right? I was thinking of like a fun, interesting, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that had to make the decision where you remember when you got those orders, right? Like we heard that, the virus was coming and people were doing it, but when you got, because I don't know if it was about your Baltimore, but like in California, it kind of went quick, which I think was a good thing, right? It went from, oh shit, we've got our first confirmed case, and then it was like a week later, and it was like, no one can go to work, everyone stay home. Yeah. And like I got that information at noon while driving for work around to things, and I was like, if I'm gonna stay at home, like there's got to be a point where you make a decision of like, who do you want to be quarantined with as a single person, right? Like I could go to a friend's house and be like, okay, we're a family unit right now. Like this is our unit, and making that decision has got to be like a weird moment of like actual decision making. Like, cause at that point you didn't know it was going to be months and months and months. It was just like, no, we're going to have everyone stay at home for maybe 14 days or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, who do you want to be stuck with? Who's going to be your family unit? And I was like, that'd be an interesting fucking movie, TV show. Like, as it extends onward, you're like, damn it, I had to pick Kyle. I fucking hate Kyle now. And Kyle's a piece of shit. I thought we'd party every day. And now Kyle's being an asshole. Like,
yeah.
Wish I picked someone else to be my quarantine buddy.
Yeah, that's a fucking that in itself is probably going to be the premise of like movies going forward. Like,
Yeah.
who'd you get trapped with?
There was
That's
a
going to probably be a reality show called like there's probably a reality show being filmed right now called fucking the Core Quarantine. Fucking
quarantine.
yeah.
There was these.
We took
There was
four.
one, there
We
was
took four random people and quarantined them together.
there is one story I saw that was a European story, but there was these two dudes. One dude was working for the bar, and one dude owned the bar, and there's a flat above it, and so the dude that owned the flat above it, and he brought this guy in as a roommate and a new worker for the bar, and it was like 3 or 4 months before the quarantine shit happened, and they've just been living in their house / bar for the whole time, and they're like, oh, it could be worse, and they're like it's a good thing we became really good friends. We're just playing darts and drinking all the tap beer like the whole time. Like, it's really great. It's like, holy shit, that's a good way to go. Like, living on top of bar. Do you want one final story?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
It's just an update. It's just an update for our good boy Papa John Schneider, relating to the TikTok world. He's now on TikTok. He's rocking the TikTok. He's making lots of waves out in the TikTok world. There's something wrong with this boy, as we've said before. For those that don't know, we've been following the ongoing saga of Mr. John Schneider, who a long time ago, at this point in time, I think the saga started pretty heavily where no one knew who the fuck he was except for people who worked for Papa John's because he's on the fucking advertisements for everything. But no one really knew who he was. And then at some point, something happened in news. I think was it the Kaepernick thing or whatever? But John Schneider, white guy, millionaire or billionaire extraordinaire, decided that he was going to go out on the news and be like, here's my opinion on race relations in America. And everyone was like, no one asked. And also, thanks, Schneider. And then on top of that, as he was trying to deal with that fallout, someone recorded a conference meeting. This is months later, a conference meeting where he was on a conference call with a bunch of the investors and everything. And he just dropped an N-bomb for fun, which is great. And then so they kicked him off the board and out of his company entirely. And so now he's on TikTok. And he's doing basically cribs. He's doing them in parts right now. I don't know who's recording them for him because someone's obviously working the camera, but he's got his Papa shirt right here. And his first video, I'm not even going to show any of the videos because they're just really slow and really bad. But a lot of them are, hey, did you know I have my own helicopter? And it's just him going out to his helicopter. The one thing I wanted to key into on is this shirt. Is this really?
Yes.
Is this really what this man wears? This Papa shirt?
Yeah.
He doesn't work for the company anymore.
Also, look at those fucking bootcut jeans with fucking dad fucking shoes. Like, get the fuck... Like, you are a misshapen potato, my dude. Look at you.
He's a weird shaped dude.
What the fuck are you doing?
His first video, again, this is very, like, McAfee level of weirdness. His first video is showing that this is his mansion, where he's trying to relate with the public. And they open the doors, and you've got this sculpture here, which is of two eagles mating. But apparently, it's also a clock, and that's what he says in his TikTok video. And then he tries to sell his Papa John's bling, or it's Papa Bless, where he's lifting weights, and.
Stop wearing those jeans. Who makes these jeans
for you? The same pair of jeans.
They're fucking gross. And they make you look even grosser than you are, you fucking...
This is a
shape into potato.
This is a promise here from the DKG crew, at least from my side. I will not let this story fall through the cracks. I will continue updating you on everything that Papa John Schneider does.
We need the Papa Bless updates.
I will keep you informed. I am dedicated to this.
You do that one, right? Because that's the scary one, and I'll try to stay up to date on Arnold and his fucking horse.
Arnold's a weird boy. Every time I keep hearing him on the news, I'm like, is it going to be about his fucking donkeys that he's got living in his home with him, eating off his plates?
Man, I just say I showed it to people at work, and they're like, "Yeah, I saw it," and I'm like, "Are you not worried? Like, the Terminator's just hanging out with a fucking horse, bro." And they're like, "Yeah,
He needs help.
Just is.
I mean, not help. I mean, he's doing it right. I think we all need a horse.
Get it right the first time. Like, somebody get this man some protein and fucking like help my man, because I don't know what's going on, but this is not the Terminator I signed up for, man. Like, he's got videos now where he has a fake pair of legs doing splits. Like, what?
He's become a CG interpretation of himself. Living his best life. Oh, I do love the Terminator. Yeah, I think that's the equivalent for me and you. Your weird pie in the sky internet fucking I have to know what the fuck this man's doing is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and mine is John Schnatter. Because there's something fascinating about this man's fucking degradation into this spiral. He's still worth a lot of money. I mean, he hasn't gone full notch yet, but damn, he's weird, and he looks weird, and he's like. I don't know. He looks like someone's propping up a lot of his fucking face with like toothpicks or tape. Like, he's just a weird looking dude.
I have fucking Puck link to it. Oh, he has an Instagram. Well, now I gotta follow him on Instagram. I can't not fucking.
He's got a Pinterest, my man. He's got everything. He's fucking doing the deeds.
Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Like, I gotta stay up to date on my Arnold.
Oh, you're Arnold, not no. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I don't even. Here's the thing. I don't even need to click this. This is not. This is your thing. Those are not his real legs.
No. Look at.
But I'm sorry if you're listening to this in the audio. There's a point where you do need to, at some point, check the video feed out.
Look,
I can't explain Arnold smoking a cigar, doing fake leggies in his kitchen. Okay, those are some stuffed ass fucking legs, and there's so many. The weird tea set, the tiny tea set, the crumpet fucking dome, the weird pictures, the tiny, is that fake fruit? The tiny bananas back there?
I don't know, man. It's fucking weird, man. Fuck, man. These are the rabbit holes we go down. You know what I mean?
This is
what it is.
This is it. This is the creme of the crop.
This is what you're gonna fucking get from us. Like,
I can't.
We just attach ourselves to these really weird fucking like rabbit holes and like you say, tangents, right? And that's a tangent for me. I'll be scrolling through. I'll be trying to do fucking DKG stuff on TikTok or fucking Instagram or Twitter or something, and then I'll see Arnold, and then I'm there for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of my day is just fucking watching Arnold fucking hang out with a fucking in his house smoking a cigar with fake legs, and I'm just like,
this is what got me started. This came up my fucking cell phone. This came up my cell phone because I say the word Papa Schneider all the time, and this man with this fucking, I don't know what, the Day of Reckoning Papa shirt was a AC/DC fucking rip. What the fuck is this man doing?
It's so bad. It's so bad, man. It's so bad. Chat, look, if you have not watched the video version of this show, I think this is one of those episodes where you go and watch the video version of this show.
These
because
boots with these jeans, these shoes.
Stop showing those. They're boot cut jeans, bro. There's double boot cut in there. Like, there's so much material. There's so much extra material. He's hiding a gun in there. There's a gun in there. There's a gun under that
gun somewhere. Anyways, that's
his hit because they're so fucking. The top of those pants are painted on.
I can't do anymore. That's the end of it for me. We gotta end this fucking cast on Schneider. We're at 2 hours of content, and all we did was news stories and talk cooking.
This is what happens when we don't fucking do this podcast consistently.
Oh,
That's
we
the
had
problem.
so much shit to cover. I've got so many other stories. You guys, you're beautiful as fuck. Thank you for being here. Please, if you're here, no, we're not. We're done, Kaz. No. If you're here live right now, please stick around. I will end the stream, and everyone it will be have the opportunity to pick what we actually title this episode as. If you're listening to this later, that's the best place or the best reason for you to be here live. Is that you can participate and provide content. A lot of the stuff that we cover is stuff that people have posted or submitted in regards to the chat as well. So thank you guys for being here. And Kaz, you want to close us out? And I'll start the music.
Also, thank you to everyone who's still like fucking a Patreon of ours. I know we haven't done much with it, but you know that's all to come.
COVID happened.
Yeah, COVID happened. But make sure you follow us on Twitter. Curly's at Curly. I'm at King Kaz. Follow the show on all the podcast networks that you can find it. dkgWELP or Drunk Kids Gaming Podcast. Thank you for listening. dkgTV.com, whatever our website is called. And make sure you just follow the stream. Twitch.tv/DrunkKidsGaming, where you can see Curly stream each and every day of a week.
Thank you all.